What's going on, nerds? Brandon and Jess from Nerdlocker.com, and we've got comic book reviews for you.
Sweet! I'm gonna talk about them.
Hey guys, Brandon here, and I got to read Ultimate Spider-Man number 8. I have loved what Marvel is doing with this kind of relaunch of the Ultimate Universe, starting the things off at number 1 and kind of cleaning up the mess that was made through Ultimatum and all the other crap they were doing for a minute. But this is awesome. We now know that his uncle is the Prowler, and his uncle knows that, or Miles' uncle knows that Miles is Spider-Man. So Miles has kind of figured out what's going on, doesn't know what he should do. He's afraid his uncle's going to blackmail him. A lot of cool things going in a good direction here. You finally see Aunt May and Gwen Stacy, which is what I've been waiting for since issue 1. Just a real quick glimpse, but I can't wait to see what that turns into. I am totally on board with this book. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. I got to read Detective Comics number 7, and it's still kind of lagging. I'm sorry to say that. I just feel that with Batman and Robin, you should be doing more, and I feel like they're trying to do so much that it's just falling short. It's still a good Batman book. I mean, it's just not what I am now expecting out of a Batman book. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls, but let me know what you think. I got Manhattan Projects number 1, written by Jonathan Hickman, so you can't really go wrong there. It's an entertaining story. It takes place during World War II, and, you know, to me it was kind of just an average comic book until you get to the end. The end is this crazy twist, and now I'm totally on board. Can't wait to see what direction they go in with this. Pick this up. It was a lot of fun. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
Hey there, nerds. Jasmine here with my comic reviews for the week. I just finished reading Age of Apocalypse number 1, and I'm not going to lie to you, I have never read Age of Apocalypse, and I know that makes me a bad nerd, and I'm sorry, but I figured this was my redemption, so I'm trying. I really enjoyed this book, and I was surprised that I did because at a glance, the art is not my thing. It looks like sort of a poor, non-watercolor Alex Maleev type deal, which makes me kind of sad inside. But I really liked the book. It was written very well. It was narrated very well, and I'm really excited to see what happens in the next issue. Being that I know of all the characters, I just don't know what they did in this universe. It was really easy to catch on to what was happening, and I really liked it. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls, and I can't wait to read the next issue. Just finished reading Stitch number 3 from Garth Ennis and Mike Wolfer, and I'm glad I read it. I really like this comic. I keep telling everybody that it would make a very great movie, but they already made a movie, which wasn't good, so they can make another movie that will be awesome with a budget, and it'll be really cool. This issue, you sort of figure out how these like crazy Afghan zombies are made, and it's really creepy and just really graphic. So I really like it. I'm saying you should read it, and the dialogue is quickly getting better and better and better every issue, and the art is sort of catching up to that as well. There's only a few panels I didn't like in this issue, so check it out. Let me know what you think. I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
Hey guys, this is my review of Hell Yeah number 1. And the story is about this kid who's living in the shadow of his father who ended up essentially saving superheroes in a war. And so now he's kind of dealing with, he's acting out because his father's in the spotlight and there's so many expectations of him. So it's established that this world is different from our own because superheroes just are a part of it, and the whole world has changed because they've been integrated into this world. But I felt like I didn't get enough of the sense of this different world. I just wasn't exposed to the superheroes as much. I just felt that it could have been more interesting, and it's got a lot of kind of cheesy things to it that I just, even in a superhero world, I don't find believable. So it was really hard for me to buy it. The art wasn't that great. The costumes could have been awesome since it's this world about superheroes, and they were pretty hideous, I have to say. So I'm only going to give this book 2 Nerd Skulls. Hey guys, this is my review of Vampirella versus Dracula number 2. How I got stuck reading Vampirella again, I can't explain to you, but I did, and it wasn't any more enjoyable than the last time. It's supposed to be about a bunch of different reincarnations of Dracula throughout the years, but it's really hard to tell when it's Dracula, and I had to read it twice to figure out who is doing what, and the motives of all the characters aren't really clear. The writing is poor. There's at least one typo in it. I'm gonna give it 1 Nerd Skull.
Hey there guys, Cubby here with my comic reviews this week. I got to read King City. It's actually a trade paperback, and it was really, really good. It's a futuristic story where thieves and assassins and spies are kind of like running rampant all around this world. Very futuristic. I'm not sure if it's like post-apocalyptic and they like fixed everything. It doesn't seem that way, but I didn't get to explore the world too much. You kind of stay in this one city, King City. You follow this guy who is a thief. He uses his cat to help him do certain things. He injects it with certain cat juice, and it kind of does whatever he wants. He turns into a gun one time, he turns into a periscope one time. He duplicates keys by putting it in its mouth and then eats it and regurgitates 2 keys. It was really, really interesting, all these little tricks that it did. It has a nice romantic story to it. He falls in love with someone, he's been in love with someone, he's dealing with that loss, that pain. It's hyper detailed. It's black and white. It's like more of like a manga, but it's still really, really hyper detailed. You get a lot out of 1 page. It's literally tells 1,000 words. It's one of those great stories that way. Overall, it gave me a feel of like Scott Pilgrim meets Hitchhiker's Guide because of the crazy kookiness, crazy visuals, fun angles, cool things that they did with the book. Definitely recommend it to people. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Hey there guys, Cubby here. I got to read Action Comics number 7. What a wonderful book. Again, Grant Morrison is killing it with this book. A lot of cool little humor parts in it. I mean, the first issue of the story arc didn't make sense. It's a Grant Morrison book. It never makes sense. If it makes sense to you, you're not reading it right because you need to have a ton of questions about a million little things. This book finally makes sense. It actually explains his armor, Superman's armor, and his new costume, why it looks the way it does, why it is what it is. I do not want to give it away because it's actually really, really cool. Like I said, there's a lot of little good humor parts in it with Grant Morrison and using Brainiac and kind of Brainiac explaining where he comes from. Overall, it was just fun ride book. One of those ones you just don't want to put down. You want to keep going with it. Next issue looks like it's going to be even more crazy. Cannot wait for that. This is another 5 Nerd Skull book. Hey there guys, Cubby here. I got to read Fairest number 1. Holy crap. I am the biggest Fables fan you'll probably ever meet. One of the biggest Fables fan you'll ever meet. I've been following this series forever. I love it more than anything. I have as many issues as I can find. I don't have all of them, but most of them. So hearing about this book, seeing this book finally come to fruition gives me so much joy. It's not even funny. I can't contain it. It's taking everything not to like freak out right now about how fun this book was. I was a little disappointed though. It doesn't really focus in too much on the princesses and like all the people that it's supposed to be about at the beginning. It's more about Alibaba and he's finding some other princesses and yada, 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 yada. It's building up the story, I understand. It's just not what I was expecting in terms of just diving into the fairest ones of all and their crazy drama and stuff. Overall, great story. Phil Jimenez art, I usually don't care for it. He's not my favorite artist. He's not even in like my top 100, but it was a really good book to look at. It hit it for me. It actually was a decent book art-wise. But I'm really, really excited for what's to come. Adam Hughes artwork on the covers, that's enough for me to buy the book. And it was like a cool wraparound on this first one. Amazing book overall. I'm so stoked for more of it. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, that's going to do it for comic book reviews this week. But until next week, be sure to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as Nerdlocker.com for our nerdy news. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Brandon, and we'll see you next week for even more comic book reviews.
Bye.